Something about Joe Flacco just works perfectly with Amari Cooper. When you hear
Yes.
Amari Cooper talk about this guy, it's he's not head over heels, but he's just really thankful. You can tell the way he talks about throwing a catchable ball. Like Joe throws a catchable ball. You can hear the offensive lineman calling him a dog, which is of course like the biggest compliment you can get as a football player. Is that guy's a fucking dog. And if you're called a dog as a quarterback, that's something reserved for a couple guys. And hearing, Teller call him a dog a couple weeks ago, and then coming off the sideline this week inside the NFL, B-roll, that D word used again for Joe Flacco. That's what he is. And this offense is incredible. That was one of the most beautiful games of catch I have ever seen on a football field. Joe made 5 of the 10 best throws of the week in one game. I mean, some of these throws were incredible, and not all of them are clean platform throws. He's actually getting off platform. He's navigating a messy pocket at times. They're down tackles, and he's making these throws. Now, the question is for me, if they play a team with a really good corner that can take Cooper away, what do they look like? This defense that has been so average on the road. In fact, they've been bad on the road. We talked about how important this was because you're going to have to go win on the road in the playoffs. They go and they play strong on the road. They check that box. And I think also the time of possession, Joe's ability to, you're not going 3 and out as much with Joe. You're going to be able to flip the field some with Joe. Even if you're going to punt, he might hit an explosive, right? That's how the defense gets help too. Okay, so it's not just the offense. It's not just Amari saying, hey, catchable ball. It's not just Stefanski saying, holy shit, where's this guy been my whole life? We gave up the future to sign a guy with like 36 civil cases, and this guy's better right now, off the couch, 40 years old. Guy's got to get his prostate checked soon, okay? But he's out there slinging the ball around like it's 2012. But better because the offense is more explosive, And so I just think this Joe Flacco thing is just what we needed. If we were going to lose all these quarterbacks, we had to get one guy that could take a team on a run.
And
right?
they're so fun to root for now. Like it used to be like kind of dirty even betting the Browns.
Do I feel
and
good?
Now it's like the most fun story in the AFC.
It's very relatable for a middle-aged man like me. I mean, it's not relatable because I'm not doing it and I couldn't, but it's incredible to watch. And, like Cooper went for 265. They pulled him and he went for 260. He could have gone for 300.
Franchise record.
Okay, and again, sometimes people come into your life and when you least expect it, and they save you. And I think Joe Flacco has saved this group and given them that ceiling that they didn't know they had, because you have to defend every blade of grass now with him throwing the ball, because there are throws that he can make that other people can't make. And it was so interesting. Nolan brought this up. When Nick Foles was the quarterback for us and Carson got hurt, and, Frank Reich's being asked about a backup in Nick Foles and how do you keep him confident? How do you instill confidence into that backup? You know what Frank Reich said? I think we have the other kind of problem. I think we have the opposite problem. I think Nick Foles wants to go for the jugular. He wants to make all the throws. There's not a throw he doesn't think he can make. And it's the same thing with Joe Flacco. And I'd rather have that than somebody that thinks they need to be a game manager, because if you're the Browns and you can score and you have explosive plays, you're scary, because this defense is very good. They didn't have a kicker. They're converting 4th and 8s. Like, oh, fuck, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to convert that 4th and 8. Like, we just don't have a kicker. Like, sorry.
They brought DTR in for a 2-point conversion.
Yeah. I mean, again, just masterful game planning, great design. But now you have a quarterback who can actually hit off-platform stuff, throw the deep ball, pepper the whole field.
You think Flacco's there next season?
I don't know. Somebody brought that up today on Inside the NFL. Like, I haven't worked the math out on that. Like, who knows what happens there? You can't move Deshaun Watson.
No.
So I don't know. You take it one thing at a time, but it's kind of like the Nick Foles thing. Like, was Nick Foles our guy after that year? I don't know. But if they go on a run, like, they got to give Joe a hard look, and maybe there's a statue outside of that stadium right next to Jim Brown just like there's a statue of the Philly special. And, it's interesting when we talk about Carson Wentz and all that stuff, and the deterioration of that player. And I don't think Deshaun's going to be the same kind of guy, right? I think Deshaun's got other problems. But Carson Wentz, the minute that statue went up, he was done. I cannot fathom that scenario.
Yeah.
I consider myself a very mentally tough person, but that would break me. And, I just think it's interesting to call back to that situation because Joe Flacco, a couple weeks ago, we said, hey, maybe Browning can lead this Bengals team to put together a run that shades of 2017 Philly. This is your Philly comp right here. Less explosive in a bunch of places offensively, not as good with the offensive line, but that defense is better than our defense was. The cover guys are better. And, if they play like they played the other day, they're dangerous. They've led in time of possession every game, this 3-game winning streak. Yeah. And, they got a 2-possession lead, and Houston had to get one-dimensional. If they get people in one-dimensional situations, it's going to be hard. And so if they slide in the playoffs, I think they should be included in that conversation of teams who could actually come out of the AFC. Yeah. Because the one thing they have over Baltimore, Baltimore does not want to see them. Of all the teams in the AFC, I think Baltimore's it'd be better if we didn't play them, because they are a division rival. They can match that bully mentality. So they have a card that they can use. They have that diplomatic immunity card that Kyle brought up a couple weeks ago. They can just be oh, yeah, we're from the AFC North. It's a little bit different.